Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Inevitable Gym. A little bit of a product review today. So, something I've noticed in the industry over the last several years or decade or so, a lot of the good old products like your BGs, your Seafoams, those type of additive products have really gotten watered down and they've lost their punch, and it's kind of been disappointing. So, because sometimes you need something to flush out a good crankcase, you need something, a good combustion chamber cleaner, you need something to put in the fuel, you need a good transmission additive, things like that. Well, I'm here to tell you I found one through Dalton, actually, at Pole Barn Garage. Motor Purr. Motor Purr, P-U-R-R, just like a kitten purring. Ben at Motor Purr, I reached out to him, and they got a whole line of products, and the one I'm going to feature right now is the tune-up, okay? Now, this is good for putting in the fuel tank, and we did some of our shop truck. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But what I've got now is I've got a 2014 Chevy Silverado with the 4.3 V6, and it's got a P0016 code, which is a cam crank correlation, basically camshaft not plausible. Anyway, the actuator's sticking, okay? I can watch the data on the scan tool, and I can see I got good cam and crank readings, and every once in a while you see it stick, and it goes nuts for a second, then comes back. So we don't have a mechanical problem with the engine. We have great oil pressure. We just have something floating in there and sticking that. Kind of a pain in the butt to change on these, not too bad, but I'm going to try this Motor Purr. I talked to Ben, and he said, hey, this would be good stuff to try. Now, what I want to tell you about this stuff. Okay, so here's the deal. A lot of these products have gotten watered down. They've just lost their punch. They just have. So the cool thing about Motor Purr is this formula has not changed since 1967. And one of the ways I can tell it's a good product is it still comes in a glass bottle. They can't put the stuff in plastic because it won't last. It'll degrade the plastic bottle and chew it up, This stuff is good, potent stuff. So we're going to put a bottle of this in the crankcase. We're going to let the engine run for 20 minutes. Then we're going to change the oil just as a good crankcase flush. So it's good for automatic transmissions to fix slips and things like that, but it's also really good for sticky lifters, like you've got one of the lifters clicking and sticking, but basic gum inside the engines. And a lot of these newer cars, people are going longer on their oil changes, and I don't agree with that, because an internal combustion engine is an internal combustion engine, the same it's been since the 1950s, and when you go longer, some of that sludge and crap just builds up in the engine, and you can't clean it out readily. And the biggest thing you can do is just change your oil regularly. That's the biggest thing. But life happens, things happen, and people get behind on their oil changes. I get it. But the best thing I'm going to tell you is change your oil regularly. That's the cheapest insurance you can have on a very expensive engine. So having said that, I don't know much about this engine because we just put this engine in the truck at my shop. It's my truck, so. And I bought the truck with a bad engine, and so we're going to put this in it. The engine's under warranty, and I could get it replaced if there's a problem with it, so I'm not worried about it. But I thought, let's try to clean it, because we don't know how long this engine's been sitting on the shelf. We don't know what kind of oil changes it had beforehand. And looking down the valve cover, it doesn't look horrible, but it doesn't look spotlessly clean either. So we're going to put a bottle of this Motor Purr in. We're going to see what happens. So now I took the cap off this Motor Purr, and the first thing I can tell you right now is, woo, you can smell it. I mean, it's potent stuff. So we're going to go ahead and put it in the crankcase, let it drink up on some of that. And then the instructions are to put this in and let it idle for 20 minutes. You're not supposed to drive it, road trip, or anything like that. You're not supposed to dribble it on the exhaust. Oops. So we're going to start this up and see what happens. Now, I just changed the oil in this truck, so it's got clean oil in it. We just changed it at the shop. It's about 6 blocks to my house here, so we're going to run it, take it back to the shop, let it run in the parking lot for 20 minutes, then we're going to drop the oil, see how dirty it is. We've had the Chevy running for about 25 minutes. Got it up on the lift now. We're going to drop the oil and see what we got. Okay, now this oil was literally brand new. It has 30 minutes of idle time on it. Look how much varnish and crap it cleaned out of that engine. It is amazing. And we put this engine in and we put fresh oil in it, and we got about an hour and a half of runtime and such on it, and I changed it. And we changed it and put fresh oil and filter in it to put this in it. So it had clean oil that we drained out after 2 hours, so that oil wasn't that dirty, and we put this in it in 30 minutes of runtime, and that's how dirty it is. So pretty cool stuff. We're gonna take it out, drive it, see if our actuator is happy now. Well, after taking the Chevrolet for a spin, that engine is cleaner and much, much happier. I want to tell you about our shop truck. Have a 1991 Chevy half-ton 4.3 throttle body V6 shop truck that we use at the shop. Call her Lucille. Anyway, Lucille got a situation where it got a bunch of bad gas put in it and old varnished up stuff. And that got in there and actually started sticking the valves and lifters, and it created a lot of problems. After that stuff got in the crankcase and the fumes and everything, it was bad. And all we did, put in Motor Purr, okay? We put 2 bottles of this into the gas tank with a full tank of fuel, because 34-gallon tank, and started driving, and Lucille gets better and better and better as we drive her. And I firmly believe in this stuff. I like it because it hasn't changed formula since 1967. Very important. And they have a couple other good products. They got Seal Up, which is a very good stop leak type product for your cooling systems. And this is very important. Some of these old engines that we get running and stuff, again, here on the channel, need flushed out for the cooling systems. This is a motor drive-in flush. You put this in the cooling system, you run it, it gets rid of all the alkaline, scale, rust, everything that's in that cooling system, and does a great job. Then from there, you can put in fresh antifreeze and such, and give it some of these old engines the best chance at surviving. I like Motor Purr after I've met Ben on the phone and such, talked to him quite a bit. The nice thing about Motor Purr is when you call him up, you talk to a human being. You're talking right to Ben, the guy that owns the company. And these are good, solid products that I like the fact that they haven't changed over the years. It's hard to find that anymore. So I highly recommend the Motor Purr products. Check them out right here at their website. It's right here. And see for yourself. Good stuff. I just wanted to jump on here. That's pretty much going to wrap it up for this. I just wanted to give a little testimonial, because when I find a product that's good, I love to share it. So go out in your garage, your workshop, your lean-to, your carport, whatever it is that where you work on your ride, and go have some fun.